This video is about a Craigslist $250 Craigslist find and its rebuild and its implications. In this box, originally that it came with, was that instrument, and when I got there it was set up on these legs. In the instrument case was this book, and I'll just let you take a casual peek at it. Here it is. Manual of Survey Instructions for Survey of Public and Private Lands, dated June 30th, 1894, from the Government Printing Office. There are no marks in this book, and also along with the instrument, the case in the book, was this little hand level. And if I can get this thing focused here, there it is. There's the initials LRC. So the case, the level, the book, the instrument, and the legs and everything, comes a story. This instrument was used to lay out the city of Blue River, Oregon. So a little professional snooping comes to find out the original surveyor of Blue River was Charles M. Collier. So who is LRC? Turns out Charles Collier's brother was Robert Collier. So the LRC stands for Lieutenant Robert Collier. So this machine was used by the county surveyor of Lane County, who was county surveyor for years, and this instrument was used numerous times. So this video traces the history and the reconstruction of this instrument as a $250 Craigslist find to a museum quality piece, and it will probably go to the Collier Museum. Anyway, enjoy the video. Look what I got back today from the place in Portland. My old Lietz Transit. This is a 1910 Lietz Transit. It's a one of a kind, because these instruments were usually built for USGS, and they were an early Theodolite, not a transit, but a Theodolite, because this yoke here is called a standard, and it was one piece, and it's aluminum, but the reticle inside the scope here is standard crosshairs, and USGS, when they ordered these instruments, had a spider web kind of a thing, and this thing is was used to lay out Blue River and McKinsey Bridge, Oregon. So anyway, I got my old instrument back today, and I can reach out anytime and pet it, and it still works good enough. It's really cool. So I'm in the process of finding that it's got a problem here on this side. It's got some parts missing here, and I need to find those parts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts missing, so I think maybe I can figure out how to find them or something. So anyway, catch you later. Welcome to my old instrument. It's a Lietz 1910 Lietz Theodolite Transit, model number 5. Well, I've been working on the old degree circle, vertical degree circle, and got it all cleaned up, and it's looking really nice now. So what I'm going to do is put the old microscope on this degree circle and look at those etchings real close and see if they're hand done. I think I got a sneaking hunch they are. Anyway, I'll put the microscope on it, get right back to you. Okay, Here's a really close-up image of those etchings. It looks handcrafted. Those numbers are hand done, they're hand etched. Look at that precision. Those are hand done. Check that out. They are gorgeous. Somebody did that all by hand. Oh, that's all hand tooled. Silver work. It's all hand tooled silver work. Look at that. Cool. Very cool. Well, here goes. Here's the new knob here. It's quite different than the other knobs. But the thing is, there isn't another one of those knobs anywhere. So the way it works, just get this kind of level here. Come down, tighten that up, and it's real stiff there. See that? It won't move. And undo it a little bit, and there it goes back again. So that knob is, yeah, there it is. Kind of shaped like the other ones. The knurling along the edge was just too difficult to do, so it's all finished now. That part's ready. I pick up the rest of the parts tomorrow. That's really nice. Really nice. And tomorrow, I pick up the little pieces to finish out the verniers and the vernier sunshade, all that. And so that gets set up. That's cool. These parts get put back together tomorrow. Look at that. Okay, I did it. These parts are back on. And here's, let me see. Here we go. Okay, this is side A. Side B. This is original glass. And this is the glass I did. So you can't even, from a distance, you can't even tell from a distance which is which. Okay, the only difference between this one, okay, that right-hand screw is replaced. You can tell by the shiny part. Left-hand stanchion and pillar block is replaced. Then they darkened it somewhat, but you can still tell that's the stuff the jeweler did and rebuilt. So the instrument is complete now. That is nice. Look at that. That's all put back together. So cool. Look at that. Nice, nice, nice. I've been working on the old box. Originally I had just a piece of plywood for a door, and the tray part here was missing, so I went down to the senior center and had them cut me out a couple of chunks of wood, and so this is running good there now. And I got a piece of nice cherry, and it was also a little bit of fiction to do on it, but basically that door fits. That's the only piece of cherry in the area that would work. So I got some asymmetric hinges coming so that I can replace those old blurred up areas and still fit the half-inch corner there. See, I got to finish up the door yet, but it's all coming along there. Got a couple of blocks here I need to make, and when I get those done, I'll re-record this and show you the progress on it. There we go. Well, I got the door hung. and actually turned out pretty nice. What I did was I found a pair of asymmetrical piano bench hinges, and I redid the hinge and used those box hinges and put in the new door. So now what I do, my next chore is to put in some latches. I got one ordered. I'm going to order another one. But it works just perfect. So there's going to be one that goes down here, and one little flip thing goes over here. Another one goes up here, so I'll have two of them. And when I get those done, I'll shoot the next segment. So, and I took the opportunity to take all the extra junk off the side of the cabinet. There was another piece of stuff over here too. There was a right in here. There was a one of the little latches, a little hook latch, and because the door was mounted sideways. Here's the old door. It was just a junk piece of plywood, very crudely done. So that was what was on there when I first got it. Was that old junk piece of plywood. But here's the fasteners there. See, I bolted them because the old screw holes were just totally messed up. There was nothing left there to grab. So I bolted it and used nuts and bolts and finished it off with those piano bench hinges. So I'm going to leave this webbing on here. Originally that was probably leather, I would suspect so. So anyway, here we go. And we're getting close to getting it done here. Isn't that cool? Well, I guess except for a few small minor pieces of brass in there, everything is pretty much finished. That block of wood back there with a cork on it turns out to be a bumper, and when I finished it, the distance between that bumper and the inside of the door was exactly the width of the outside diameter of the instrument. So a nice local dentist gave me some walnut oil, and I soaked that door up in walnut oil, and so it's well on its way to being finished. What I have to do now is, of course, put the little brass hooks on here and finish that. Finish these part here so that it has a hoop, and then it's on to finishing this piece here that goes underneath the transit itself. There'll be two little blocks that gets put on there. And I finally found the wing nuts. They'll be here eventually. So, but there's the old box, all in its glory now. So there we go. Good job. I think I got the little things figured out to go in to hold the transit down. I got it all figured out here, laid out on the piece of wood. Those are the wing nuts. There's a pair of them, and they're both exactly alike, and they're the high-eared ones, the Mickey Mouse wing nuts. I think that's going to work. I'm going to try getting that cut out, and Jack, the dentist, with the woodworking tools, is going to help me fashion this piece, and then we'll see if it works and come out and fashion it. This is the second piece. So anyway, things are making progress. Well, I got it, the last pieces here made. So these blocks fit one here and the other one over here, like so. And then they point in at each other. The different the wing nuts go there, and then there'll be a little brass washer that goes underneath both of these so it doesn't chew out the wood. So these little dogs sit on opposite ends of the degree circle, and I'll show you what that does. These are almost ready. I need to finish up the little holes in here, the little slots. But what happens is these wooden dogs go over this plate here, and underneath here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a plate underneath there, and the distance between here and there, and then you put the wing nut here. So the instrument, that's this bottom bracket here, this bottom piece, fits onto the wood, and then these wooden dogs, I guess the lugs or whatever you call them, then fit on the case and mount it to the bottom. So what you do is you open up the case, you have this, slide this into the case, put the instrument on it, slide everything in place and get it up against the bumper back here. And once it all gets fit in there, you take the wing nuts up here, tighten them up, and it clamps the instrument in place, and the bumper back there and the door up here in front act to hold it in place, and the dogs here hold it down, so it's completely secured inside the case. So anyway, made progress today. So once I get I'm going to need the flathead carriage bolts, 3 inches to go from the bottom here up to the top of the wing nut. So I'm going to need 2 of those. I'm going to need a brass washer to go underneath the wing nut. And I'm going to need 2 more pieces of brass here so that I can put the little latches on the door, get the doors fixed, get the door finished. But at the senior center today, I got the wood lugs all finished up and sanded them up. They're not quite finished yet. But there you go. That's just about the last part of it. We're on the end of the deal here. I finally got all the parts and pieces together to make the little hook latches and stuff. Now what I'm going to do, this will fit over the box like so. This being the door here, and the door will open. This little tab will get folded over and make a hoop, and then the little hook here will fit down in that hoop, and that's how the door will get held closed, sitting through that little loop there. So I'm going to make one on each side, and this is the same thing here. So this one will be on top and one will be on the bottom, and so these will hook in like this. So I fashioned this. The neighbor Jack had some extra little tiny pieces of brass, so I just fashioned these, carved them, took a couple of hours, just carving them down, making them right. And so next thing to do is to actually bend the bail here so that the hooks will have somewhere to latch into. But first, before I do that, I need to drill 2 holes, one here, 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 and here. So I got something to mount the little brackets to the case to. So anyway, progress is being made. Well, I think I finished these little hooks there. See that? The brass turned out to be strong enough I didn't have to solder it or anything. And they're both pretty much alike. Managed to make the shape is very similar, so that shouldn't be a big problem. That way, and then the little screws fit and everything. So next thing I'm going to do is just stick it on the instrument case. So there we go. Look at that. The latches, hook latches are done. They're all working. Oh yeah, that's all that's left to do now. Is check this out. There we go. Get in there and get this one. it. Okay, now, the thing that's left, I need 2 brass washers for this, these wooden lugs, and a 3-inch flat top carriage bolt. 2 carriage bolts, and then that, of course, goes inside here. This goes inside here, and then the machine instrument gets mounted on there. Look at that, it's all done. Nice. Thank you for Jack, the next door neighbor. He supplied the brass. There we go. And there we are. It is nice. Nice piece of furniture now. Next, we just wait to get the rest of the pieces and put it together. Cool. Well, there's the carriage bolt. It's actually not a carriage bolt. It's an elevator bolt. I found a pair of these out at a local hardware store, and I had an awful time convincing them that I needed an elevator bolt, not a carriage bolt. And so a pair of these, and this is what they're for. This is the back side of the hole, the board where the thing goes. So it slips down there. I'm recessing it, and so the little square part fits in like so, and then the recess is in that. There you go. So now what I'm doing is I'm recessing that so that this head fits in that slot there. And in this part, the little dog fits over here, and you see, got a lead going on here. Okay, little dog fits here, and it slides back and forth like so, and then a little brass washer goes over that, and then the wing nut that I got fits over that. So there you go. So let's see here. Get this done one-handed here. That's always a struggle. There we go. Okay, so we get that down and tighten it up, and that will check that recess spot there. See, eventually I'll work that wood out there, and it'll all get recessed flush with the bottom of the board. Of course, there's going to be one on this side too. It's marked out there, but it'll be done yet later. But the other side, I'm working on this hole, and I'm using this gouge. Go in here, and I'm working all this wood out, recessing it and carving it out using little wood carving tools. And that'll be the end of the project. That was what I needed to finish. So those little elevator bolts were perfect. Oh, look at that. It's all nice and flush. And the bolt is in there nice and solid. It'll never come loose or anything, and it's nice and flush. You run your hand, there's a little tiny bit of a lip there, which might be a problem, but we'll check it and see later. But it's nice and solid. The block, of course, goes over that, it slides back and forth, and there we go. Yeah, it goes on there, the washer, bronze washer, and then slides back and forth. Get that loose. Slides back and forth and goes in. That dog holds down, and then you clamp that. It's nice and tight. So the whole thing ends up looking like, oh, there's going to be another one over here. I got it marked out, but got it all worked out there, and that's what it looks like. That's what an elevator bolt's for. So it's perfect. It worked out just perfect. So look at that. One more and we'll be done. I'll show you when I get finished. Okay. I think it's all done. Well, there might be some minor modifications or something, but check this out. There are the two lugs, and they're all mounted in there, and these clamp down so they're nice and tight. This is also tight. The bumper's in there, and checked it with a machine. So what you do, you take the instrument, unscrew it from the base, and then put it on here with the lugs turned sideways. And then you slide the instrument in there up against the bumper, swing these dogs back so that they mount on that bottom leveling bracket, and tighten these wing nuts down. And that clamps the base here. The instrument sits in here, and that's it. So that should work nicely. That part finished. So a little review. Got the plumb bob, some plumb bob strings, so that's up and running. Someday I'll maybe make a little video about how to make that knot. But what I learned, this is being aluminum, created before aluminum paint. This is tar. This stuff here that looks all nice and shiny is sterling silver. It is not German silver. It is real silver. And these two plates here underneath, it's kind of loose. I need to check that. So these two plates, upper and lower motion, are solid silver. This thing weighs almost 15 pounds or 15.5 pounds. So the whole machine is almost, the total weight is silver. So anyway, here it is. 4-inch base. There's usually a 3.5-inch base, and that's got a 4-inch base on the leveling screws. And there's the instrument.